So you can see now that don't mind me. This is evening. I'm trying to take some little snack because I don't want us to be too serious. You know, it's weekend. If you guys are around, we would have had dinner right together. But it's so good. You can watch me. Should I have my video so that you watch me take my little snacks? So
it's not a problem, sir.
Okay. So the difference there is research. That tells you the importance of research. Why the AI guys were just sitting down there, you know, the open AI, they were confident with their chat GPT and their AI systems. The Chinese were working to see how they can outsmart them. And I think for theirs, the DeepSeek has some advantages. One, in terms of running cost, is cheap. You spend about let me say $20 million for the company. But for the OpenAI, you spend about $5 billion. And their facilities, for example, now you want to buy their facility, it can cost you $100 per unit, but for the DeepSeek, it can cost you about $2 per unit. So affected their markets. But why I brought this up is that it's research. Advances in the world today is as a result of what? Research. We find better ways to do things. And for people like us, we will tell you that knowledge is limitless. It's limitless. But it's only limited because we have not gotten to that extent of limitless knowledge. I repeat again, knowledge is limitless. It's limitless. It is only limited because we have not yet advanced knowledge to the realm when it becomes what? Limitless. Because what you don't know, you don't know. That's why they'll tell you that this thing cannot what? Operate beyond this point. But somebody 2 years later may come and tell you that, guys, I found a way how to do these things. And people like us, we are also thinking that there's an area of research that is not being modeled scientifically. And that area has to do with religion or spiritual forces. Whether you are Muslim or you are a Christian or you are a Buddhist or stuffs, those spiritual laws of nature, people shy away from them. But like you guys that are majorly Muslims, you go to the mosque, you pray. Why are you praying? You want God to intervene for one thing or the other, or Allah. So the process of Allah intervening, there is a mathematical equation that you can use to describe that response. That is an area where that is bare, that people are not putting into in terms of let me model and see, right? So knowledge is limitless, but you are limited because it's what you know to what you know. What is known makes knowledge to be what? Limited. So COVID-19, we are working the importance of research. We saw how the Western world saved the entire world from COVID-19 by bringing vaccine. So, and I think there were some institutions that developed ventilators here and there. So actually, what we are looking at for, we want students to be able to think critically and solve some problems in the world. And one problem in the world that can be solved so easily is what we call reverse engineering. I mean, one tool that can be used to solve problems is reverse engineering. Like yesterday, I was discussing with somebody that came from Russia and was telling me some amazing things that he can do. This is somebody that is staying in Russia at the moment, working, living well, but he's telling me that, Dr. Ogolo, I want to come back to Nigeria and he wants to start farming. He said, I'm like, guy, either want to go back, want to even leave the country, want to come back. But I said, no. Say the opportunities are in this country are much that is good. We harness those opportunities. And it comes to research. So he has discovered and he has seen that, we can actually do these things. And that's the knowledge that I want you guys as students to also have to. Not that I'm encouraging you to stay in the country, but I'm only encouraging you to use your power of your mind. Because the success of a researcher is the power of his or her mind. So one of the things I've learned about research is that as a researcher, you must be confident. Confident of your idea. Because sometimes we researchers, we see what we see, people don't see it. What we see, people don't see it. So you have to be confident of it and pursue that idea that you have. So I put here that research remains the fundamental, the basic foundation of research is what? Fundamental knowledge. Who can explain that for me? The basic foundation of research remains fundamental knowledge.
I think what it means is that when you're making research, one should first start with the common knowledge that is available. Because sometimes most of everything that we have today just all stems out from what is already known. But most times we try to make things more complicated by going beyond what we have already.
Yeah. Thank you for that. You deal with what is known. And under what is known, there is a fundamental known, there's the advanced known. Fundamental knowledge has to do with you understanding your work, which is what we are discussing today. So, like, I expect you to be taking note because when I speak, most times I don't speak. The slide is just there to guide me because I speak out of experience. Fundamental knowledge is to guide you. You need to understand the fundamentals of that research. Like you guys in ABU, you are working with zeolite and zeolite catalyst for the catalytic cracking of crude oil. First, I need to understand what is zeolite. I know that zeolite is a what? A nanoparticle. How can it be produced? What is the properties of zeolite? What is the applications? Those little things about zeolite, I need to know them. Then I can now look at what have people done and what is left. So when you understand the fundamentals of your work, that's when invention comes in. Be able to find out that, oh, I can actually tweak this property and the material becomes ductile. The material becomes brittle. I can just like now you have the simple one is you have salt and water, and I want a liquid that can stay in my facility. But let me not put facility in my reaction chamber for a temperature of 105 degrees Celsius. And you and I know that if I get water, water can actually evaporate to boil off, become steam. So I can decide to get a chemical that I can use to increase the boiling point of water. What have I done? I've produced a new fluid that you can use to work in your reactor chamber. Like I named the fluid Mustafa fluid. You get, so that is how research is about. You being able to work with like fundamental knowledge. How am I able to come with that kind of invention? Because I understand that water boils at 100 degrees Celsius, and I also understand from my basic chemistry that impurity alters the boiling point of water. So with that, I can come up with that invention now, and I produce the fluid, the salty fluid, and I bag it, and I say, okay, this is my product, and I begin to sell. That's how research is. That's how innovation is built. So research has been the solid foundation of the oil and gas industry. So I want to always take you away from petroleum because the world is global and we are meant to solve global energy issues. And we can learn from other researchers. Look at Professor Ndubisi Ekekwe. He developed a chip for robotics in the US. And that ship is able to deliver 34 ACR movements. And when he did it then, wanted to apply it just for medical applications, but NASA saw it and said, no, we can actually get this movement and apply it to our robots so that when they get to space, they can move, they can actually carry out these 34 ACR movements. Elon Musk, you can see Musk today, the father of, what is it called, efficiency at the moment. Look at Tesla. All Elon Musk is just doing, it's knowledge. It's knowledge. It's just advancing knowledge. Talk about electric cars. Electric cars, you and I know that the knowledge of electric cars has been with us for ages. Rocket, the same thing too. But these two guys are telling you the power of research most times. Fundamental knowledge. Now, to build a rocket, the challenge we have with most Nigerian students is that what you just want the answer. Give me. No. We want you to go and look at the fundamentals first. So that as you are looking at the fundamentals, from there, you will now become a master. You understand the basics, you become a master, and it goes well for you. So these are some innovations in the oil and gas industry, Internet of Things. These are companies, and that's how we want them to be thinking these days. You guys can set up your own company. Look at blockchain. The industry has lots of data. Why not we create a data bank and that works using blockchain technology? You have predictive maintenance. I have a facility, I can predict when I need to maintain my facility. You have the augmented virtual reality. Like, for example, now, instead of me going to Netherlands to do this thing, I can return to other facility in Lagos or in Port Harcourt, so that by wearing my virtual reality glass, I can see the rig, just like you are playing those virtual reality technology. When you wear them, it will make you to look as if you are in the rig and you'll be working. Cloud computing and the like. So these are companies that have emanated due to research, and they've actually been applying most of these concepts. What is research? Research is basically you are considering a study, and you are trying to solve a problem using scientific methods. There's a problem you want to address, and how do you solve it? You solve it using a what? A scientific method. So these are different types of research. You have the exploratory research, the applied research, the descriptive research, experimental research, qualitative research, quantitative research, and for paper contests, you have to be careful. What we're looking out for, the first research is more of applied research and experimental research. We're not looking at your descriptive research, no. But if you are doing a qualitative or a quantitative research, it's fine for us. But a descriptive research, no. And any research that has to do with literature review, a review of energy consumption, a review of energy needs, all those research, that's what we discussed. That all those things will sweep them away at the abstract stage, sweep it away at the abstract stage. But those research that will skip through the abstract stage for now are those research that are applied. We want to see how you're able to apply your engineering knowledge to solve problems. Not telling us that use solar energy in the north, use water hydropower in the south, use bioenergy in the southwest or in the northwest. No, your research should be tested. Should be able to test it. That's why when you are doing a research, it's always advisable you use tools. If it's experiments, you learn how to do the experiment. You learn something. If it's modeling, if it's simulation, if it's mathematical modeling, if it's the use of softwares to solve a problem. If you are designing the software, we want you to be able to do something with your hand, not carrying data, or you are looking at something and somebody have done the work already. You're just explaining what the person has done. Those kind of research does not fly in student paper contest. If you want a research to fly, you have to make it applied, experimental, quantitative, qualitative research. Those ones that go. Yeah, these are research that flies. Then when you have done your research, you put it in you document it using a technical paper. So that technical paper will describe the process, the progress, and your results, your advances. So that by me reading the paper, I'll be able to tell what you have done. So I do say that the only person that knows your work very well is yourself, and it's in your mind. So the only way you can use one way you can use to communicate it is through writing it in form of a technical paper. So you document it, and these are areas you can look out for. You have drilling, production, reservoir, data science, petroleum economics, renewables. Then the refinery, downstream, midstream, pipeline is there. Process engineering too is there. It's not on the slide, but process engineering, fluid processing, crude oil processing, crude oil refining, catalysts used in the oil and gas industry. These are areas that you can look at for your research. So what are the tips for writing a good paper? And if I state this, it's assume, we've actually completed what we are doing today. So you take note of these points. The first tip here is that what is the problem statement? What is the paper addressing? So sometimes me, I don't even need to read your paper. If I see your title, I already know if the work is interesting or not. I will also know if the work is novel or not. And another thing we look at for is the novelty of your work. When we are reviewing your papers, this work, Somebody have done it already. I'm aware of the work itself. So you may do a beautiful work, but you didn't do a proper literature review to know that work have been done already. So it's not going to fly, right? So you need to do a literature review to address the gap, to address a gap or identify gaps, and draw up your own methodology. You also need to understand the format of writing a technical paper. But let me come back to the problem statement again. What is your paper addressing? What problem are you trying to solve? That problem you're trying to solve is the gap you identify from where your literatures you have reviewed. And because you did a proper literature review, you'll be able to understand how to draw up your what? Your methodology to solve it. Then understand the format of writing technical papers. What this section is, which I will just talk briefly. Then I say here that methodology is what is the key and most what determining what factor. Now, after your title, your gap you're solving is good. What method are you now going to use to solve it? What method are you going to use? So the more papers you review, the more technical your methodology is going to be. And when you want to review papers, you review papers on Science Direct. That's where you have good articles. So you look at the methodology, and sometimes the more complex your methodology, the more you stand a chance of winning. That's the thing. For me, I will give the winner that did the more complex jobs. You know, that when they took the extra mile to carry out the research here and there, you know, get the gold, the go home with the cup. So your app result presentation, which I'll talk about, I think in the next slide. So tips for excelling in SPENC Paper Contest. Like I said, get a problem-based topic. Let it be hands-on, something you can measure. Not like you studying the energy crisis, energy plan for Nigeria, this, that. And you're telling me I used hydro, that's bullshit, right? That those work, they don't fly. But you are telling me the energy plan for Nigeria, and I'm seeing you assessing it. You are carrying a software to assess it and telling me that, okay, Nigeria consumes this amount of energy, generates this area, we can generate this and that. And you are actually using a software to assess it. It's okay. You are doing an experiment to confirm your hypothesis. You are building a mathematical model to solve a problem. So those research that you can assess, when you conduct it, you'll be sure that, okay, I've actually done this work and I'm sure that this thing can fly. I want to design, for example, now you was telling me you are designing a pyrolysis facility, this and that. And you just go to the literature review, you do this, you do that. When you are designing, you didn't do anything, right? That's why in your design project, most of the time they expect you to assess it. Either you use simulation or sometimes you like in your master's level, you fabricate those facilities. Yeah, so I'm actually also a product of ABU. If you don't know, I think it's not something that is quite in the open, but I was once in ABU Chemical Engineering Department for a year. So I did my NYC in ABU. So I'm linked to Ahmadu Bello University because I served there. So I know some of the things that you also do there. I think I was working under Professor Momo, and I had engagement with the dean of your faculty at the moment. That's Professor Dabo. and some other professor, Professor Ajayi. So I'm used to your faculties, and I'm happy with the research in ABU. So that's why I have most expectation from ABU, because energy challenge, you guys need to, to do more with it, more on it. So do a thorough literature review. It's necessary. Understand your research. Methodology should be systematic. It should be systematic. As I look at the work or the paper, I want to see the flow of your methodology. It should be scientific. That's why when you review papers of science directly, you will see a flow. And you should communicate. It should be clear. The results at the end of the day should be clear. That when I've read the paper, I should be able to understand what you've done. And I said sometimes it's good you also undergo complex research. Like you introduce some complexity in your research. Like even after doing some work, you can go further to use machine learning. You've done some experiments. You can go further to build a model or to validate your work. You can go further to, to make it kind of complex. But remember, you must understand what you're doing. So another thing is presentation, how you present your work. So prepare smart and simple slides. Don't make your slides be so complex that that you won't be able, people will not be able to read it, right? Make it simple. Like I can see my slides. They are simple. It's not wordy. Like some people will carry their chapter 1 introduction, dump everything on the slide, boom. So don't do that. Make sure your slide is clean, and it's nice. So also avoid too much colors in your slide. Practice, practice, practice. It's practice, and get a third eye. Like for example, now after preparing your technical paper or your presentation slide, send it to your supervisor, send it to a professor, send it to your mentors to look at. Sir, this is it. So please advise. Advice. Sometimes some persons will just call me, woman, I wanted to join this presentation now. Student presents, I already know, okay, this is what you are presenting. Go and do it like this, do it like that. That's it. Like, I can confidently tell you that some of the winners of paper contest, they're actually my boys and girls that I call, like the winner last year from Nile University. All the boy come, he won it. He won for last 2 years. He's also my boy. Now came, was it first and third? My boy and my girl. So I just called them and I told them that, okay, oh, do this, do that. And they send me the work. I say, okay, this is what you should do. This is it. And that is it. When you're presenting, this is what we expect to see. So it's good you have a third eye. Don't be too, it's very, very good to help you a lot. Even at my level, I still get a third eye to look at what I'm preparing, because so presentation is key. And when you're presenting, you need to be bold. You need to communicate. You want to see the energy in you, right? Well, I want to see the energy in you. Also know your work, know your work very well, because you'll be asked some basic questions. You can also look at economics. You ask some basic questions, and those basic questions can mar your work. That's why it's good to do literature review too. Sometimes the judges may not ask you something that has to do with your what existing work. How is your work different from what others have not done?
Hello everyone, can you hear me? Please, if you can hear me, send a reaction or something. Okay, so it seems our facilitator is having a little bit technical difficulties. So let's give him some minutes and see what's up. Good evening, everyone. So once again, our facilitator is experiencing technical issues. Please do hold on as he tries to resolve the issues. So please, while we wait for our facilitator to come back to the call, please write your membership ID in the chat box. Hello, everyone. So please hold on once again. The speaker is about to return to the call.
So sorry. I'm just seeing a message that you guys did not follow. So where did you stop, or which aspect were you before you stopped hearing me? Hello, unmute your mic and speak. When did you stop hearing me?
Okay, I think it was when you were talking about having very research, sir.
Having what?
Very research.
Okay, have I talked about tips for writing good paper?
Yes, you have talked about literature review. You have talked about the format. You have talked about literature review and the format, sir.
Okay, what about, have I talked about tips for excelling in SPENC Paper Contest?
Yes, sir. You started talking about the tips for excelling in SPENC Paper Contest, like the things that we should avoid.
Was it where you guys got lost, or have I looked
Yes,
at this
I think
slide?
so.
Can you see my slide?
Yes, sir. We can see your slide.
Okay, have I gotten to this stage then?
Yes, you have gotten to this stage, sir.
What about here?
No, you have not gotten to this stage, sir.
So it was this place that it ended.
Yes, sir.
Okay, no problem, because the main thing for this presentation is this two slides. Tips for excelling in SP paper contest and tips for writing a good paper. Like I said, yeah, presentation is key. Be able to present your work in the prepare smart and simple slides. Practice, practice, practice. Get a third eye. Let somebody also go through your work. Introduce some complexity in your research so that I can see that when a student does more work, it makes your paper to be rich and outstanding. Methodology should be systematic. Understand your research, go through your literature review again and again, and talk about problem identification, define what area of research you want to do, which is the problem statement. You can, what are the gaps are you addressing? Process improvement, cost savings, efficiency, and discuss with your supervisor about it. This is the format of a technical paper, which I will discuss here. Your abstract, this is what your abstract should contain. Brief introduction, problem statement, research methodology, discussion of results. Now you can see my abstract. This is my paper. This is my brief introduction of my work. Then I'm telling you the problem statement that COVID-19 we have. This is a problem statement. Then this point here is my research objective. Then my research methodology is this point you are seeing here down. Then my result is this. Okay, this is my methodology. Then you go further, you see my results, and it's so concise like that. So this is another of my paper. So your introduction should tell us the topic, to state the background, to tell us the literatures you have reviewed, what are the gaps, state the aim of the work. In paragraph, will not put it, the aim of the work is this, these are following are the objectives. No, put it in paragraph. Then the literature review, these are literatures, sources you can get materials from, books, journals, conference proceedings, your supervisor, web of knowledge, your annual report, your university library, and get those stuff from. And your literature review should cover all these aspects, even the equipment you are using for your research, but not in a paper, like in your project work. You need to even talk about the equipment in literature review. Your general methodology, you discuss it in the literature review, unresolved issues, application of results here and there. But in a paper, your literature review is more of a review of existing work. This person did this, did that, and they observed this. You say it like that. So your methodology is key, and these are different methods. You have the theoretical formulations, the reservoir modeling, the mathematical models, the design and fabrication aspects of your work, your catalyst preparation or formulation, your testing, optimization studies, and so on and so forth. And you make it concise. You do a step-by-step process. Your data analysis is also key. So how you discuss your results, how technical are you? That's why when you review papers, you recent paper, you see how the results are being discussed, and you will like it like that. So discussion of results and should be concise. So when you the results should be discussed properly, not like some students you just lump your graph there, you won't say anything about the graph. But these are trends. A graph is a trend, and a trend is telling you what is going on. Your graph is going up, it's coming down at a point. What is actually happening? We want to know, and that's what you discuss. Some may not be, you see the concept of optimization coming in so that you can identify or know exactly maximum or maximum quantity of material of catalyst that you can use. So those are the results you will, that's what you will do when it comes to the discussion of results. Then your conclusion is key. Be concise. Just tell us your major observations, and take time to read your paper over and over again. Read the paper over and over again so that you can be sure of what you've done. And these are references. References is also a section of it. So all articles cited in the text must be referenced. And these are different references style. Always be careful. For using SP style. Go and learn about our SP standards. You can download a paper from one Petro and you look at that. APA, Harvard. These are styles of referencing. So I will stop here for today. Like I told you guys, I'm not too strong, but I decided to put just 2 slides that we tell you what you want to hear or what you want, which is a tips of writing a good paper, which I have stated here. Then the second one is this. I know we've discussed this today. So by now, at least one way or the other, must have learned 1 or 2 things from me because I've shared my experience with you guys. And we'll stop here for today. I don't know if you have questions or you have comments to make, but thank you once again for the opportunity to take this lecture. And you can see that important things are like this. You don't need to see students, so, but if it's Whiskey, if it's Naira Marley, Davido coming to perform today, this whole place will be filled up, especially the ladies, the guys there will be filled up and there will be no space. But what will give you a better future? You are, just just about 8 persons that are here. So normally it's the rule of life. Not everybody will make it. So it's only few people that makes it. And that rule of life is it's not a curse, but it's a rule of life. No, it's the truth, and not everybody will make it. It's only very few people that will make it. And those few people are people that I like you guys that want to go the extra mile to become better. Like someone like me, my future became like this because of paper contest. You don't know. When I went for paper contest in 2015, that was how I got information to where I did my master's on scholarship in Nigeria here, and even my PhD. So because I took it serious and look at where I am today. But and the funny thing is that all students want to make it in life. You ask them, what do you want to become? I want to be this. But the effort to make it, they want to put. They rather be in WhatsApp, So you guys have done well for attending. And so are there questions or comments? I'll call it a night.
Okay, thank you very much, Doctor, for this wonderful session, and we really appreciate it. You are not even feeling very well, but you still took your time and your effort to have this session with us and share your knowledge and experience. And we're really grateful, and we really don't know how to repay it. We'll just work hard so that we can show results. At least, hopefully, to some extent, you might hopefully feel rewarded for what you have done. But then we cannot provide reward for the service that you just rendered. If anyone, and it seems the notification of accepted abstract schedule might also. Do you have when should expect the notification of accepted abstract for the SP Nigerian Council Paper Contest?
Yeah, it should be soon. Early next week we should get that. We get that by early next week.
Okay, thank you, sir. And sorry, sir, could you expand a little bit on the volume of information that you can suggest we should put when doing presentations for SPE paper contest?
Okay, in terms of volume, like your work, you already have your introduction, your aims and objectives, your literature review session, your methodology, to state it, and sometimes it's good to state the basics. If you have equations, add it to it. Your discussion of results, what are the results you've obtained, and you make it presentable. And you are not going to add everything in your work to the slide. For example, now if we give you an opportunity to present, there you just have like 7 minutes to do the presentations. So you have to work with that time. So it's advisable you have about 8 to 10 slides that can guide you. And maybe in a single slide, you put much of the information that you may need. And that's what you discuss. So don't make it too wordy. Just make your work presentable and understandable. That's why if you are selected for the contest, go and meet your professors, your department. Let them set up a team of persons that would be there to give you to judge your work, so that when the professors they look at your work, they can advise you on what to do. And if they look at your work, you see that it makes it better, and that will help you. So I don't know if I answered your question.
Yes, you have answered my question. Thank you very much, sir. So
Okay.
since no one else have a question, I think we can call it a day. And once again, sir, we are really grateful that you could make it to this session. And we hope if a time comes that we might need you, you are going to answer our call, sir, again.
No problem. No, it's fine.
Thank you very much, sir. So everyone can start having the call. It was a very a pleasure having you, sir.
Okay, no problem. I think I will send you the slide soft copy so that you guys can have it now.
All right, so I will share it then, sir. Thank you.
Okay, no problem. Take care. Bye.